Hello, welcome back to Buckle Up. My name is Rob Wilson.
And I'm Jasper Bruce Wright. And here we have the brand new facelifted 2024 Kia Sorento. And today we're going to find out if it's any good. Well, Rob, what's changed at the front?
Mainly the lights, which are now reminiscent of those on the enormous EV9 electric car that Kia also make. The daytime running lights follow around the front of the car into the new grille, which is still a tiger nose. It's still Kia's sort of styling thing.
Yeah.
It's their standout. You know it's a Kia coming down the road when you see one of these.
It's grown on this car. It is a bit wider, a bit deeper,
Yes.
but it still looks very good, very tasteful. Slight elements of Range Rover styling I'm seeing in this grille, but I do love the way those daytime running lights kind of eke into it. And then you've got these elements of kind of brush guard, I guess you could almost call them, in inverted commas, down at the bottom here. It does look very purposeful. It's quite a powerful presence on the road.
It's a bluff front and it's a big high bonnet. It's very SUV styling. It's just an update of the older version, basically, because there hasn't been much that's changed under the skin. But let's go and have a look at the side and see what's going on there.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Rob, but I see quite a lot of bright work down the side of this car.
Yeah, you aren't wrong.
You've got it on the door handles, you've got it all the way around the glass house, you've got something that's akin to bright work as these roof rails, and a little section along here as the running board, and yes, even more.
Which doesn't serve any purpose at all as far as I can see, other than being bright work.
Styling, yes.
We've got some 19-inch wheels. These are a new design for the 2024 model, and they look like wheels.
But also, look at how much sidewall you still get on that.
It's chunky.
Which is great.
Should
for
help
comfort.
with the ride when we're driving it, so we'll see if that's the case.
You've got these elements of black plastic cladding around the wheel arches, and the whole styling here is very unashamedly SUV, isn't it? It's not trying to be something different. It is very much, here is a 3-row SUV for you.
Exactly. And speaking of 3 rows, let's go and have a look at the back and see how that affects the boot space. Right, so here at the back is probably where there are the least amount of changes. You've got some slightly new rear light clusters, which are still these 2 towers, but they're now joined at the top.
It looked really good before. It still looks really good now. It's just had a couple of tweaks, basically.
Yeah, so let me open up the boot, which is automatic, of course, where you will find all of our camera equipment for today. But if you have it in this current configuration where you've got the 3rd row folded down, you've got around 800 litres of space. If you fold down the middle row, which you can do electronically on some buttons, then you'll have 2,000 litres of space. And if you put the 3rd row up, then you'll have a very tiny small amount of space, 175 litres. But that's only a little bit smaller than you would find on a city car, so it's still usable for putting bags of shopping in, but you're not going to be able to put 7 people and all of their luggage in here. And
it's probably worth mentioning that within this form factor of car, which is an SUV, when you have that 3rd row up, you never really get a massive amount of space, but it's still usable enough and boxy enough here that you can fit things in it. It's just obviously most of the space is taken up with passengers.
Yeah, but I think what we should do, and by we I mean you, is sit in the 3rd row, because I'm not 100% sure that I'm going to fit in that.
So getting into this back row is actually pretty easy, because there's a button down here that I can press that folds this seat forwards and moves it out of the way for me electronically. I can then clamber in and plonk myself down, essentially. And yes, it's like the back of any other 3-row SUV. The floor is a little bit high, so my legs are quite bent. It's, you know, I've not got much under thigh support, but in terms of actual space, I've got quite a lot. Even if this second row is reclined, I've still got an amazing amount of leg room. Back here I've got some cubby holes, I've got a cup holder, I've got my rear air conditioning control, I've got a USB Type-C socket for charging things, and I can get in and out by pressing a button on the top of these seats. So it's not dreadful in this third row. In fact, as third rows go, it's incredibly spacious, and you know, the materials are very hard plastic, but back here it's pretty decent. Let's see what the second row's like.
So, in the middle row of the Sorento, and I am very pleased to report that all 6'2" of me, or 188 centimetres, fits perfectly. If you have a short arse like Jasper driving, then I could literally have a tennis game back here. These seats recline nicely. I can either put them up more, recline even further if I so wished, and they are on rails. So if you want more room for the back passengers, you can do that, less room for yourself. It's all very customizable and lovely. The middle seat is actually a little bit narrower than the outer seat, so I'm not sure how comfortable I would be sat on that for a long journey. I'd much rather make use of the rear seats than stick someone there. But within this middle seat, I have an armrest, which has got 2 cup holders in it. It's nice and squidgy, which is good. I've got Isofix on the outer seats. I've got a giant cup holder here, a smaller cup holder there. I've got heated rear seats. I've got a blind to protect children or ginger people from the sun. I've got seat back pockets on both of these seats. I've got USB-Cs on the back of these seats, so if you've got kids in the back, they can charge their devices. There's a 12-volter down here in the middle, and you can actually control the front passenger seat from the back here as long as there's no one in it, because I'm sure that children would have vast amounts of amusement of moving the seat of their parent, but it detects if someone is sat in there, so you can't move it. It's just more if you're being chauffeured in it, which is entirely possible. While I do have climate vents here in the back, I cannot control the temperature. That I have to deal with whatever the front passengers want, but that's a small compromise to make for the amount of space and customizability that I have back here. But what I think I'll do now is hand back over to Jasper, who'll talk us through the front.
The front seats are great, quite frankly. They feel incredibly spacious, very airy. You've got a large centre console, but it sits at quite a low level, so you've got this kind of expansive space around you. In front of you, as the driver, you've got a pair of large digital displays that kind of curve towards the centre of the cabin. You've got your large digital instrument cluster, and you've got a large central touchscreen for the infotainment. If I turn the ignition on, you'll see that this section down here lights up as a panel, and this is your controls for both your infotainment and your climate control. And if you tap this button, it brings up the climate control, and then you use these physical dials to adjust the temperature. So yes, you've got physical climate controls, but you do have to press a button to get to them if you've been using the infotainment system. The steering wheel is wrapped in a nice leather, as are the seats in this interior. I've got physical buttons all over that. And then I've got these rocker switches down here for my heated seat controls. So the interior does still have some lovely tactile elements to it. Practicality is, of course, excellent for this class of car. It has to be to fit 7 people in. So I've got large door pockets, which will take a bottle of water down here, twin cup holders in the centre, a very large cubby that includes a Qi wireless charging pad for my phone, as well as the wired connections for charging and for the infotainment system. That is nicely covered up by a panel. Over here, I've got a massive glove box, which is full width and very deep. Great to see. And then underneath my armrest, I've got a removable tray and a large cubby underneath that. There's also somewhere nice in the middle here where you could just kind of drop your phone if you were wanting to, as well as a small cubby here, which is handy for the keys, for example. All models of the Sorento come with an all-wheel drive system, and you have some elements of control for that down here to allow you to switch between your drive modes and your terrain response modes. You've got a little dial. There's also a 2-stage heated steering wheel, and you've got various other functions down here for your start, stop, camera system and parking system. So the cabin is a really nice design, very sensible, quite premium, and the materials within here do reflect that. Let's see if that is reflected when we drive it.
Right, so now we're driving, or I'm driving, the Sorento, and let's start off with the different engine choices that you can get, I think, because this is one of the few vehicles on sale where you've got a choice of conventional hybrid petrol, plug-in hybrid petrol, or diesel, which is what we've got in this.
Yes.
And the reason we picked the diesel is because it's become basically irrelevant.
It's become almost extinct, hasn't it?
Yeah, but I'm not sure about that, because this has got 190 horsepower, which is the least amount of power that you can get from those 3 powertrains. However, it also has 440 Newton meters of torque.
Which is pretty good.
It's very good, because that means that you can tow 2.5 tons of braked weight, which you can't with the other two. So if you are a towist, then you'll need to go with this diesel option.
Yeah.
And it's the 2.2 that's been around for 1,000 years, so...
The engine is pretty proven in terms of reliability.
Yeah.
It's a good engine.
Yeah. It's also very quiet.
Yes.
Even though it's not a smooth, silky 6-cylinder, it's still a 4-cylinder engine, but it's not intrusive in the cabin. They've obviously done a lot of sound deadening here, because I can barely register it. I mean, if you floor it, you can hear it.
Yes, but when you're just bumbling about, it is incredibly quiet in the background.
Yes. But yeah, the one thing I will note is that the steering itself is very light. Very light steering for such a big car, which means it's easy to drive.
Yes, Kia do a lot of work to make sure that even something as large as this is very accessible to people.
Yeah, and it's not so light that you don't... It's not communicative. You still have an idea of what the front wheels are doing. It's no sports car. It's not meant to be. But yeah, it's nice and easy to use. And speaking of easy to use, you've got all of your adaptive cruise control, lane keep assist, lane follow assist, all of that stuff that makes long journeys, which you'll probably be doing if you've bought the diesel, very pleasant indeed. And you won't arrive tired at your destination, because it really does help with that.
Yeah.
But now that we're at this junction, I'm just going to whack the throttle down, and everything falls over.
Yeah, there's the camera equipment.
It shifts. It's 0-60 9.7 seconds, something like that. So it's under 10 seconds, which matches the petrol hybrid one. If you want to go the fastest, you've got to get the plug-in hybrid. That does it in about 8.8. So it's not a massive difference, but obviously this is going to be the most fuel efficient one.
Yes.
Because despite the plug-in hybrid saying that it'll end up doing 100 miles to the gallon or something ridiculous like that, we all know that they don't.
Yeah.
Because that's relying on you
that relies
having
on
a full battery, which you never have, because no one bothers to put
it also
on
relies on you draining that battery completely before the engine then even does any work, which is generally not how people drive.
No. So if you are looking for the most fuel efficient option, then it is still the diesel. And as I say, it doesn't really have the drawbacks of diesels of old, of it being less refined.
It's a solid choice for this. It suits the car really well.
It does suit the car. And I've got a nice view out everywhere. I've got big windows, big mirrors. I can see out the back clearly. It drives quite nicely. It's
very well packaged as well, because this cabin feels very spacious.
Oh, yeah.
I don't feel like I'm too close to you. which is a frequent problem we have in some of these.
Yeah, I don't like
tests.
being close to you at all.
No.
But let's swap drivers, and you tell me what you think.
Absolutely. One thing that I think Kia have really got right in this is the controls, because all of the things you touch are really nice.
Yeah.
The buttons have a satisfying click to them. This rotary shift controller down here is really easy to use. It's very intuitive. And things like your climate control, your screens, they're all very easy to use.
Yeah, not everything is buried within the screen, but obviously you've got your Apple CarPlay and Crapple Maps and everything else that you can put on the screen if
absolutely.
you so wish to. But this is straight out of the EV9 and EV6, and we've been in those cars a lot, and it does work.
It really does.
I know it's not quite as nice as having physical buttons, but this is a happy medium of minimalism.
Yes.
But also functionality, because it does work when you press it. Like when I press the fan button, the fan goes down.
And critically, they're illuminated, so you can always see them.
Yes, you can. VW, are you listening? So yeah, it's just incredibly comfortable. You've got that huge sidewall on the tyres as well.
Yeah, and then these seats as well.
The seats are good.
I've got lumbar support that's adjustable. You don't, but the front seats are both electric in this trim level.
Yeah.
And the material, the way they're bolstered, the way they support you is brilliant.
Yeah.
And I think the same goes for the rear seats as well, because this whole vehicle is very comfortable.
Yeah.
Now, the only other thing I'd like to mention is that this diesel is the only one of the 3 powertrains that comes with a dual clutch transmission, because both of the others are conventional automatics, which is, for me, it's a slightly odd choice, but what I will say is the gearbox has been completely faultless. It's incredibly smooth. It's conventional auto levels of smooth when you're pulling away. It's very snappy to shuffle gears around. There's never been a single moment when we've been driving this where we've been going, come on, at the gearbox, waiting for it to change.
It's definitely reacts quickly.
Absolutely, it suits the driving experience remarkably well, and it allows you to shuffle that power around quite quickly if you need to.
Well, you've got the security of the all-wheel drive system.
Yes, which actually, if I go down here, so I can change into sport mode if I really want to.
Do you mean sport mode?
Sporta mode, yes. Or if you're a Ford owner, sports.
Yeah.
Folds, fast folds and my sports.
Yeah.
But yes, if I push this button, it actually allows me to change between several different terrain modes. So I've got one for snow, one for mud, one for sand. So this vehicle...
There's none of that in Surrey today.
No, none at all.
No.
But if you do have to deal with some difficult conditions occasionally, this vehicle is absolutely capable of getting you out of one of them. It's also a feature which we really like, got the cameras that appear when you indicate, so you can see your blind spots in the driver's instrumentation cluster.
Yeah.
It's just a great all-rounder. It really is. It drives very well. It's very competent. The powertrains on offer cover anything you could feasibly want, and the technology that you've got within the cabin, even if you don't go for the top trim levels, is brilliant.
Yeah.
So it's a thumbs up from Buckle Up.
It is, but let's go back and do a proper conclusion.
Yes, we shall.
Right, the new Kia Sorento. What do you think, Jasper?
Well, I think the mild refresh that this has had has just done what it needed to, which was bring the styling a little bit up to date, and they've also streamlined some of the kind of options packs. But I'm also really pleased to see that they're still catering to a range of people who would want this style of vehicle, especially because of the range of power plants they've got available for it.
Hybrids, plug-in hybrids, diesels. There are a surprisingly little amount of diesel 3-row cars now.
Yes.
In fact, I'm struggling to think of many. So if you want a family vehicle with 3 rows that can also tow stuff, that isn't not very expensive relative to its other competitors, is still incredibly premium inside with all of the features that those more expensive cars have, the Kia Sorento.
because this isn't even top spec, and it's still ridiculously well kitted out, and it really looks very sharp.
Yeah, it looks the business. So, thank you very much for watching. If you've liked the video, make sure to go and hit that thumbs up button. Comment down below as well, because we want to know what you think about the Sorento. But most importantly, please do subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss an upload.
There are 2 ways you can support the channel. You've got our social media and our spread shop, where you can buy some lovely, lovely, sweet, sweet merch. So please do go and check out those links, which are all in the video description. Or if you'd like to support us directly here on YouTube, you can buy a channel membership, and that will gain you some little perks and behind the scenes access. And it's a way of kind of directly thanking us, which we would very much appreciate. So yeah, that's it, I think, really. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.